if you've been arrested for a DUI, there's a lot of moving parts, but for this video I'd like to just talk about the initial license suspension. So if you've been arrested or issued a citation for a DUI in the state of Arizona, the officer most likely will give you a piece of paper called an admin per se implied consent. It's going to be a yellow or pink carbon copy, and usually you receive a yellow and a pink. The officer keeps the white. And at the top left, it'll say MVD. Top right, it'll say admin per se implied consent. That piece of paper, if the officer takes your actual physical license, will be your license for the next 15 days. On the 16th day, your license will be suspended for 90 days. During that 15 days, you have an opportunity to request a hearing with the MVD. To request a hearing, you have to submit a request in writing. It has to be received within the 15 days. Once the MVD receives that hearing, they will postpone your license suspension until there's a hearing for your case. The MVD is typically about 60 to 90 days. They'll conduct a hearing 60 to 90 days after the hearing request. If you do not request a hearing, as I mentioned, your license will get suspended on the 16th day for 90 days. How the 90-day suspension works for a first-time DUI, whether it's a regular, extreme, or super extreme. The first 30 days you cannot drive at all. The last 60 days of the 90-day suspension, you can drive on a restricted license, so long as you've provided proof to the MVD that you've received an alcohol screening. Any reputable screening facility through the state of Arizona will provide proof of completion to the MVD. The MVD will either mail you a restricted license as you get closer to the 30th day, or if you have not received it, you'll have to go to the MVD to receive one. The restricted license will give you the opportunity to drive to and from work and school. On the 91st day of the suspension, so after you've already done the first 30 days, after you've already done the 60-day restricted license, you have to pay the fee to have your license reinstated. Do not make the mistake that your license, assuming that your license will automatically be reinstated. You have to pay the $10 or $15, whatever the MVD charges, to reinstate that license. If you request the hearing, as I mentioned, your license will not be suspended until you actually have a hearing, which would be 60 to 90 days after the request. I'll discuss exactly what an MVD hearing is and the scope of it, what to expect in another video, but procedurally I just want to talk about what the initial suspension is, how to request a hearing, the restrictions on the licenses. For all of our clients, in every single one of our cases, the first thing that we do after we let the courts know that we're representing a client is we'll submit the request to the MVD, assuming we're hired within 15 days of the arrest or the citation. We'll get a confirmation from the MVD that they did receive our request, postpone that license suspension. We like to request a suspension for two reasons. One, it postpones the license suspension. In some cases, it'll prevent our clients from ever having a license suspension. And then two, as I mentioned, I'll discuss a hearing in a later video, but just to be quick about it, at the hearing we have an opportunity to question the police officer on the record, and then we also record those interviews. So it gives us a good opportunity to investigate the DUI case. But if you have a question about your license suspension, if you have a question about a DUI process, give us a call, 602-980-1987. Consults are always free.